This is video 4, building the InfoTwoPage example on PDLB software for the Pico Display baseboard. The code for this video and more information is at the GitHub site, and links are provided at the end of the video. The information presented in these videos on PDLB should work as well on any PicoMite board that supports the SSD 1963 LCD display. As this channel covers multiple microcontroller solutions over time, please subscribe to stay informed and click like, as that really helps. In this session, we explain the setup control, we use captions as displays, we integrate GPIO and controls, and we demonstrate the snap feature. In this video, we continue details on building a display page using the PDLB software. Here is a clip showing the finished display. Here is the example, wired in the code deployed and running. In this program, there are two pages. The home page displays the information, and the second page will configure the information. The home page has a frame surrounding 10 captions showing the status of the onboard devices. The captions update. If I press the first button on the board, its status displays. If I press the second button, its status displays. If I rotate the potentiometer, its value updates. We can touch the next page button to reach the second page. Here on the configuration page, there are 3 sets of frames with radio buttons, each representing an action. Selecting a radio button is exclusive inside a frame. Initially, all the actions are disabled. Clicking a radio button configures the action immediately. Let's choose LED 1 on button 1. Now we can press the button on the baseboard. Its LED lights. We can turn to the home page and see the same thing. We see the button pressed in the display and the LED 1 status is now on. If we let go, it turns off. If we press button 2, we just get the pressed. Let's go back to the configuration page and configure it. Now we can test it. Let's go back to the home page. We can press button 2 on the board and its pressed status shows as well as the on status. If we press button 1, it's on status and LED lights. Let's return to the configuration page. Now we can configure the pot. Configuring the pot disables button 1 and button 2. Let's configure pot for 2.5. Return to the home page. Now as we rotate the potentiometer, its value changes, but as we reach 2.5, the LED lights up, its status indicates it's on, it's red, and the pot value is red. If we change and rotate the value down, it turns off. And that's the demo. Okay, let's create the display. We begin by creating a project folder called Video 4. We go up to the File menu, we locate New Project Folder, we click on it, we make sure that we're using the Workspace folder, then we click on New Folder, we enter in Video 4, hit Enter, make sure that the Video 4 is in the folder name down below, and then select Folder. When we do that, we should see the Workspace and the Video 4 in the information strip. Next, we will do a Save As and enter a file name. And we're going to enter InfoTwoPage.source. All right, let's drag a setup control to the page and drag its page home caption. So let's locate setup and drag its page home caption to 675/25 or thereabouts. So kind of in this area. We'll click update and then we'll update this manually. And then update it. All right, drag the frame control to the canvas, and we want to place it in basically the center of the screen. Let's resize it a bit using the resize feature. All right, we'll release it. Now let's change the color to yellow, and let's change the caption to onboard devices. And update it. Very good. Now we're ready to place our 10 captions as information on this page. To do that, we're going to use the snap guide. The snap guide is in the middle tab of the properties. So we want to begin by adding the captions. So we're going to choose an area around 200, set a guide, and that puts a yellow line here with a little pyramid at the bottom. Now, as we drag and as we place captions, they will snap to this line. And we're going to place the captions about 45 to 50 pixels apart. We need to place about 5 of them. All right, let's go back, select each caption, and we'll enter in values. So we want this caption to be button 1. We want this caption to be button 2. This caption to be the potentiometer 1. This caption to be LED 1, and this caption to be LED 2. All right. Now let's add the second column of captions. We'll do that by setting the guide to around 400. And we'll set some more. And this time I'm going to drag them approximately where the ones they line up with the labels to the left. All right, let's go back and now enter in the text and set defaults. So we're going to use lowercase values just to differentiate these from the labels, and we're going to give them names. So we're going to call it control value button 1, and we're going to give this a value of show press and then button 1 and update it. We're going to do some something similar with the next one. Button 2 in lowercase, similar name, uppercase CV button 2, and show press button 2. Okay, for the potentiometer, we're going to call it pot 1, CV pot 1, and this value will be actually a numerical value because it's coming from a potentiometer. So we need to convert it to a string. So we're going to use the string conversion function, str $, and we're going to put in our value, pot 1, comma, the size of the value 4, and the number of digits. I'm going to update that. Now we're going to do the LED. So lowercase LED1, CV LED1, and the value. Here we're going to use show on off LED1. So we want to see whether it's on or off. And finally, LED2. We'll enter in CV LED2, and we'll enter in the function that it's going to call show on off LED2. All right, let's just kind of eyeball these in a little bit better. Position button 2, position pot, position the LED 1, and position LED 2. And the nice thing the snap is doing for us is when we place it, or even if we update it, it's keeping it locked to that guideline at 400. It can float around on the Y, but it's going to snap on that X. All right, let's disable the snap. And now we're ready for the next item, which is the next page button. So let's put a button. We're going to put the button down here in the lower right hand corner, say around 515-ish, 500. And move it up to about there. All right, we'll change its color to yellow. And we'll change the caption to next page. All right, we'll update that. Okay, so we've got everything for page 1 now, and you may have noticed that we had a setup button that popped in at the beginning here when we entered in this page 1 setup control. So you're going to see another button pop in when we start the second page. So we're going to click on the setup. We're going to come over here, place it in a similar location as the first page. And when we do, everything from page 1 disappears. All right, we could update this, and then we'll just make sure that it's in the same spot as page 1 by making sure it's 675 and 25. All right, so now this is the configuration screen, and we're going to configure button 1, button 2, and the potentiometer. And we're going to use some frames to do that with. So let's use the frame control, and let's go ahead and use a snap. first. We'll set it around 145. Okay, frame control. We come up here around somewhere around in here. All right, let's change this to yellow. We're going to change the height to 85, and we'll use the width, so we'll go about 500. See what that does. All right, helps if you spell color correctly. All right, that's looking good. Let's change the caption to choose output action. Now we want to do a similar frame just below it. We're going to click here, drop it, change its color, change the height to 85, change the width to 500, and update it. Oh, forgot to change the caption. Let's enter in the caption. All right, let's enter the final frame for the potentiometer. So we'll drop it. We'll set its height to 85. We'll use the button here just to show you that we can. Yellow. Width is 500. And the caption we want on this one is going to be choose Pi alone. All right, let's move this up a little bit. Move this up a little bit. Move this up so that we have room to put in another button. Just going back and updating them, make sure that they hug this guideline. All right, let's disable the snap so that we can put in our button to go back to the home page. So we want to do this in about the same area, which was what, 500, 515, and around 400. All right, we'll change that to yellow. We'll change the caption to return to home. Return to home. Very good. So we just need to put in our radio buttons in each of these frames. As you recall, putting a radio button in a frame will make it exclusive. So we want to have 3 sets of radio buttons for the first 2 frames and a 4 in this last one. So we're going to use the snap guide to help us place the first set of radio buttons. So that's around 200. Let's move it over a little bit. 180. Very good. Okay, so let's click on the radio button. We're going to put it right there, and we're going to change its size to 20. Okay. Let's do another radio button. Change its size to 20 and update it. Add the third radio button. Change its size to 20 and make sure it fits in. Let's go back and update the text. We update the text of a radio button by clicking on the circle so we get context. And we want this one to be button 1 _ none. And we want to have some values here. So we want this button to be our default. So we're going to set its value to 1, and we're going to set its name to I set its name to button 1, and we're going to put the caption as none. Very good. All right, we're going to do the same down here. This will be button 2 _ none for the name. For the label, we're going to put none, and for the default, we're going to put 1. And for this potentiometer button, again, we're going to put pot 1 _ none. We're going to put none as the label, and we're going to set its default to 1. This will make more sense when I add the others radio buttons. All right, let's put another radio button in the middle, and that'll be around 400. So let's move the guide over, and maybe 375. Oh, I think we can come over a little bit more, 360. Very good. Okay, let's drag in, let's place 3 more radio buttons. Click radio, place it, change its radius to 20 just so it fits inside the box. We're going to change its caption to LED 1, and we're going to put the value here as button 1 _ LED 1. And we're going to set its default because we don't want it to be enabled. We're going to set its value to 0. All right, I think you got the idea of what we're going to do next. Another LED 1. So this will be button 2 _ LED 1. We'll put the label in of LED 1, and the default is 0 because we don't want it to be enabled. Oh, and I forgot to set the radius. Let's set the radius and move it down a little bit. All right, we'll enter in another radio button. So this is going to be pot 1 _ and we're going to do something different here. We're going to do values. So this is going to be 2 volts. So we'll enter in 2.0, change the radius to 20. We don't want it to be selected, so we'll set it to 0. And there we go. And now we want to set another set of radio buttons. We'll need the guide about in this area, 540. Maybe 500. All right, let's set radio buttons. This is going to be button 1 _ LED 2. We'll set the label to LED 2, and we'll set its default to 0. And we'll change the radius to 20. All right, we'll do something similar for the next item, next frame. Button 2, LED 2. Set its caption to LED 2. Set its radius to 20. And set its value to 0. Alright. Now we want to mush in 2 more radio buttons into this area here. So let's turn off the guide. And let's just drag this over. And update it. So we'll add a radio button around about here. This is going to be the caption will be 2.5 and its name will be pot1_25. And its default value is still going to be 0 and we need this to be 20. Alright. And let's add a 3rd radio button here. Alright, a 4th radio button there. Set its value to 20, set its default to 0, set its label to 3.0, and the name pot1_30. Alright, maybe position that a little bit better, update that. We've got all the radio buttons. Let's add a few captions. So we'll say button 1 here. Add another caption for the next button. And we'll add the final caption for pot 1. And these are just labels. Nothing, no features implicit in them. All right, we want to give names to our button. So on page 1, we're going to click on the button and make sure you click away from the label. That way you can select it. And we'll come in here and we'll give it a value of CV next page. Now let's click on Setup. We'll click away from the label and come in here and enter in a name. CV home page. And update the control. We'll generate the code and we'll take a look at it. And we can see it's added these 2 controls here. Let's invoke the add-on. All right, and push the code. In summary, in this video, we created the InfoTwoPage program, and we learned about the setup control, we used captions as displays, we integrated GPIO, and we learned about the snap feature. Hopefully, you now have a better understanding of the PDLB software and how it can help develop advanced graphic programs on PicoMite. Thank you.